Hello and welcome everybody to the fourth episode of the Super Nintendo World Recreation Project. And in this episode we're going to I'm very excited because this episode it's where the land actually takes form, and we are going to see like one of the big places, the central pieces of the area, and one of the central pieces also of a lot of Mario games, and that's Peach Castle. And I'm super excited to show you how it was done, and I'm really proud of this one because if you see the artwork, you don't see the Peach Castle. They've obscured it, like just showing the back of it, because in every Mario game the Peach Castle is different. Okay, so they change details, they change sizes, they change like the towers, how they are done. There's a million versions of, well, not a million, but there's like a lot of versions of Peach Castle. In every Mario game I think it changes, and in some the changes are small because they are trying to make it cohesive, and in others the changes are super big, and we don't really know which version they are going to make in the Super Nintendo World area in Universal, but I think it's going to be their own version. Okay, they're going to, of course, it's going to be based on the Super Mario 64 castle, because that's the most famous one, the most famous version, and where the castle first appeared in the games in this form. Because I think the castle also appeared in Super Mario RPG, but it's not the same castle because it's the King's something like that. But okay, but the canon of the games now, with the Peach Castle as a central piece, that's the first time it appeared. It was in Super Mario 64, where we could visit the interior of the castle, and that's the interior I want to also make in a future episode. But in this episode we are only going to work with the exterior, and what I did and what I tried to do here is watch a lot of versions of different castles of Peach and mix it a little bit. But the one that I most like, probably the version, it's something mixed between the Super Mario 64 version, because it's the biggest, with the waterfall and things surrounding it. Even if the waterfall is not in this video, I'm going to try to add it, even if you don't see it I'm going to try to add some kind of waterfall and things like that. But it's also, I also wanted to make it based on a version that I like a lot, even if you only see it from afar, and it's in the Mario Kart 8 game. You can see the Peach Castle in Royal Raceway, and it's a little bit like the Super Mario 64 version because it is recreated of the same raceway, because in Mario Kart 64 the Peach Castle of Mario 64 appeared like that, and you could even visit the grounds, but you can't in Mario Kart 8, and it's a pity. But they made like this castle, but they made the details in the walls and things like that. They made like a medieval gate that you can see right now here that I added. So even if it's not a real perfect 100% recreation of the Mario Kart 8 castle, what I wanted to here is base it a lot in it because of the decorations and how the stained glass is placed and things like that. Although I like some details I haven't had from other Peach castles, like the Super Mario Galaxy, where it has a terrace, and maybe the real park one, like the one that we're going to see in Universal, is going to have like a terrace, so they can have Peach maybe do say hello from the castle, or do some fireworks shows or something like that. Because what I think it's important is that Universal didn't have this type of Disneyland castle, like the Disneyland centerpiece fantasy thing, and I think that's what it's great about having Nintendo on a Universal Park. It's that they decided to add the Peach Castle because it's so important to have it, and not only that, because they can make like a little parody or a little tribute to having a centerpiece like the Disneyland castle in a fantasy setting. And I think they're going to use it to make fireworks shows and things like that from the castle with Nintendo music or something like that. And it's going to be amazing, I think. But we will have to wait to, I think, 2018, the ending of 2018, 2019, to start seeing like the castle itself and they working on it and things like that. But I'm really excited to see it in reality. And yeah, and that's why I'm actually building this castle. So yeah. And as you can see right now, there was a problem because the roofs of this castle are really strange. Well, not strange, but there are not roofs in the game that could work for some of the strangest parts of the roofs in Peach Castle. So what I had to do was create my own roofs. I got like a small piece. I don't know how it's called, but it's like a small wooden piece. There's like a lot now in the alphas. There was only like one version of that piece, but now there's like a lot of them. And what I did with that piece is create a false roof, like a fake roof. And paint it of the same pink color as the other normal roofs from the game. And that's how I could like blend the roof with the same details as the Mario one. And the towers, for example, I had problems also with the towers because the central piece of the Peach Castle, what has like a center tower that varies in sizes from it has 3 different sizes, and the problem with Planet Coaster is that the sizes of the towers only vary 2 times. There's like a thick one and a smaller one, and what I had to do here is make a bigger one. So that's why you see make me like get like a quarter of one of the pieces and start creating my own super white tower, and that's the base of the central tower. Then I use the my voice is a little bit sore, and the middle one, it's like the normal white tower, and the one in the top, it's the normal thin one. And I think it worked pretty good with the castle. So I'm very proud of how the roofs look. And it was the one, the thing I thought I was going to have more problems with it, and it wasn't as bad as I thought at the end. And now we enter like I think the most important part, and it's a part that has stayed most faithfully to all the recreations of this castle in different games. And it's that because the castle, it's probably a little bland, because it's all very symmetric. Like you have a tower in the left, a tower of the same size in the right, you have the middle tower, and yeah, it's a little bit too symmetric, and not too. It doesn't have too much variety. And something that has the Disneyland castle is that it's a bit asymmetric. So you have different tower sizes and different shapes in the left and the right, and that's why it's more pleasing to the eye. And that's why I think the facade, like the detail of the most beautiful detail of the facade that gives it like not be so bland to the Peach Castle, it's actually the stained glass, the middle stained glass of Peach with some flowers surrounding it that I'm recreating now. As you can see, it's the most important piece of the castle, basically, more than the towers, more than anything. And it's one of the pieces that most people mostly remember of the castle, and actually it's a plot twist that Peach is enclosed on the stained glass in Mario 64. But yeah, it's a beautiful art piece, and I wanted to give a lot of detail to it in Planet Coaster, so that's why I tried to recreate it 101, how the games do it. And I think it was I'm an artist myself, so I had a lot of fun drawing it, because using these small pieces, if you've seen my other time lapses with the art, the museum, the Planet Coaster Museum, you've seen that I like all to draw and do art and make art. So that's why I had so much fun making Peach here. with the different colors and the flowers and the drawing, and I think it's one of the most versatile. It's that the semicircle piece is one of my favorite pieces in the game because I can draw whatever I want, and I even can use it in some sculptures. It's a little bit more difficult, but I will try to, for example, for the Joseph sculptures in the ride and things like that. So yeah, we're getting to the ending of the video. What I'm going to try to do for the next is the interiors. Now working on rides, finally on rides, and I'm going to also work on the exteriors that are left, but I'm not going to record that. So the next videos are going to be more about the interiors and the rides. I hope you liked this video. I left you with some cinematic shots of the castle. So see you in the next video, and goodbye.